Stay away from dabbling into topics that expose you to things that you cannot see. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself inviting something in to your life that God won't be able to protect you from, that your spirit guides won't be able to guide you away from. When those people come to you trying to get you to buy into tarot, spirituality, the occult, you better run. They are looking for people just like you that are weak in your faith, that are looking for someone to call on, that are looking for answers that you're not going to be able to find outside the church, that you're not going to be able to find outside those Bibles that you know you're supposed to be in every Sunday. You ain't going to find it in no tarot cards. You ain't going to find it looking at Mythbusters. You ain't going to find it trying to research forbidden knowledge. It's forbidden for a reason. These are the thoughts that are swarming the collective consciousness right now at this time. In one way or another, it's going to make it to your timeline. It's going to make it on your feed somewhere on some platform. And their only mission is to remind you why God has placed those restrictions onto you. And it's to protect you from yourself. Because according to them, you were already born a sinner. You were already born imperfect. From the moment you were conceived, you needed to be saved from yourself. While this is all happening as a collective around you, whoever you are that this message is intended for, you have confronted these thoughts. You have confronted these fears. You have released yourself from that doubt. You have gone within in so many ways to compose yourself and to look at how you were self-deceiving your own self in a lot of ways when it comes to situations. This entire journey has been about you developing a sense of self-worth for yourself that no one else can take from you. You aren't seeking to control anyone. You're not seeking to convert anyone to your belief systems. You're not even trying to convince someone else that they have the wrong ideology, philosophy, or belief system for themselves. You're able to go into rooms and spaces with people and feel non-judgmental. You're not walking into those spaces with the intention to magnify the problems, to magnify the limitations, and to shove your perspective down onto them. Yet they still insist on wanting to pray over you and save you. And anytime spirit reminds me of this idea of saving someone, all I could think about is how a parent feeds their baby because they aren't old enough or they aren't capable of feeding themselves yet. You know how you hold the bottle for the baby because the baby can't feed itself yet? And then it graduates and eventually you may prop the bottle up with like a little receiving blanket, so that way the bottle is still held at a certain angle and the baby can still drink from the bottle without you having to hold it. And then eventually the baby catches on and the baby holds the bottle by itself, right? Even though that process happens when it comes to parent and child, when it comes to grown adults, that believes that we as grown adults cannot do it for ourselves, that they must be the ones to pray over us to save us from ourselves because we know not what we do, that entire agenda, that entire mission is questionable. So I feel like you are someone that has been questioning everything. You know, you developed enough to be able to hold your own bottle, but you aren't capable of affirming your own belief systems. You aren't capable of praying for yourself, deciding what you do and don't want for yourself. Because apparently you know not what you do, no matter how old you get. So on some level, when someone does that to you, or when anybody does that to you, they have already determined that you are like a baby. You are incapable of doing it for yourself. And when you deny any covert bully, they will still pray over you. Have many of you have found yourselves in situations where you'll say no thank you, or you'll say no, you don't want to engage in it, or you'll place that boundary, and they'll still say, oh, I'm going to pray you come to your senses. Isn't that a contradiction? If you say no thank you, or you say where you stand in that situation, and someone insists that they must pray that you come to your senses, ignoring all your initial boundaries, and as punishment, they have to walk away from you. Not only do they have to walk away from you, but they have to take away their protection, the love that they once had for you. It's like, now that I'm gone, I can't promise you that you're going to be protected because I'm not praying for you anymore. This could be someone that's as close to you as a parent, since Spirit pressed that upon me to use a parent example, a parent-child dynamic. I'm not going to pray for you anymore. Or me walking away, you won't have my protection, because they were convinced that you were out here getting away with murder, doing whatever you wanted to do, because they were at home praying for you. Once upon a time, they believed they were providing your spiritual covering. So now they're mad that they have no authority over you. They have no control over you. So the only thing that they can do, well, they don't have to do this, but the only thing that they can't help but to do is to keep up with what may be occurring in your life. Let me check. Are you still doing that thing that you were doing? Are you still believing the way you were believing? Did my absence affect you? Did the distance hurt you? Are you feeling alone yet? Do you see how lonely it is without us? Has the prophecies that I've been projecting over your life, have they come true? Have they come to pass yet? On some level, they have to check. They have to check. They have to use other people to even help them do it, because they're baffled. They keep asking themselves, how can you be happy? How can you be happy even when you're all alone? Nobody wants to be alone. Everybody wants a friend. Everybody wants to feel like they belong. When I was younger, it worked on me. When my parents locked me up in something, I longed to get out of that situation. I would do anything to get back in their good graces. So I know this has to work on you, because you're my child. You're my friend. You're my sibling. You're my associate. You're my lover. People can only do what they are taught to do. People can only engage with others the way that they were groomed to do it. That's what they want to know. That's what the people want to know about whoever you are, is how do you do it? And Spirit has a channel message, not for the world, not for them or they, but for you, whoever you are. Spirit wants you to know that you have graduated. some type of self mastery spiritual course. You no longer need a spirit guide or an overseer in this spiritual realm that you've ascended to. The frequency that you are operating from, this new operating system that has been downloaded, and Spirit showed me, right? For a lot of you, this operating system that is now, that you are now generating from, it's like an activation, like it was already there. Or it's like a timeline jump. So like all the information, all the Akashic from that timeline of you holding this high ranking spiritual position has been, it's like a zip file. That's what Spirit showed me. So it's already there. When it was activated, the zip file opened and all of that Akashic information came flooding at once. So some of you may have experienced some type of spiritual symptom, whether that be like the integration process of all that. Imagine like your body taking on so much information at once that you weren't aware of there yet. Okay, so it's like your body could have heated up. You could have experienced something like fever, cold, like flu-like symptoms, but it wouldn't have lasted longer than like a 24-hour period or 48-hour period. All of that information was, the zip file was open, and everything from that lifetime, from that timeline, became accessible to you. It's like waking up one day, Bruce Almighty, okay? Waking up one day where you are a news reporter, okay? Or you're reporting what's going on with the world, and then all of a sudden, like just like that, now you're able to receive so much information, so much, like your radius. Spirit is showing me from a city aspect to like multiple cities. Okay, some of y'all it's multiple cities. Others of you, it's like the entire land or region. Okay, Spirit was showing me like I saw a globe and it spun in a circle, and it just kept spinning. So what this is telling me, this is worldwide, globally. So you have the spiritual authority to you have the spiritual authority to deliver blessings or lessings. I'm hearing they know not what they do is a real statement, because people have encountered you. Hold on. They know not what they do is a real statement when they encounter you. So there's something about the scales of Ma'at, okay? There's something here about, every time I see this card, it just gives me unbothered, unbothered, drama free, happy. But okay, the scales of my eye, yes, because you see here with the feather, weighing the heart, measuring the weight of the heart to a feather. So what I'm getting is the birth of codependency began, I'm like releasing, hold on. The birth of codependency began once the religious sector used spell work to restrict humanity. They stunted humanity's growth. and made them a subservient sector to the gray area. In in spirituality, there is no gray area, just truth. There's It's like that holy trinity, okay? There's um whatever is being weighed, it's the information you were presented with, the opportunity that you were presented with, and what you actually chose. All of those things determine some type of trifecta, some type of combination, and it determines what you need to continue learning, mastering, growing from, or experiencing. That's intent that will help you shift your perspective. Um, so when a person never makes it to the scales of my art, they miss an important step in the crossover process. No growth or ascension takes place, and evolution is delayed. So evolution has been delayed, stunted. Humanity. And so these projections that I was, um, like the noise, the white noise, the chatter, is it sounds like prayers that are coming in at a rapid rate, and they're running, right? They're praying for each of you, that you stop trying to discover, you stop asking questions, that you stop looking for something that you can't see, that you don't follow your curiosity that is luring you away from God, and all these different prayers is vigilant, right? But like a spell, it is casting, it is an attempt to cast like a lullaby, put you to sleep, rockabye baby. And so they can rock the cradle and then steal from you. Stealing some, they're stealing your joy from you, your relationship with you, your I am. So everywhere you go and everything that you do, every experience that you have, if you feel as if like, damn, where are my guides at? Why they're not stopping this from happening or stopping that from happening? You are walking karma. And this isn't to look back or to doubt what is happening. This is about trusting that life is about experience, it's about living, and attempting to save someone from themselves isn't an act of love. It's actually hate, because you don't believe that they're capable of finding their own way out. And so you keep them codependent, and you keep them you enable them. And this is a sensitive topic, because this may even be in regards to like your own children, you know. It can be very difficult at times to even allow them to fall down. So it's like, with what you know, careful not to. So it's like they're showing me, when people became aware of how it works, how spirituality works, how this works, they looked at the world and they was like, wow, okay, the world is fucked up. But this is in the wrong hands, right? Fear in the wrong hands, it could be destructive. And so instead of allowing people to have their own free will, I'm going to use this information, keep it hidden, and then I'll determine. And so eliminating the entire spiritual realm and that form of ascension from an individual journey, and then being the person that everyone comes to for clarity or confirmation of what they're feeling, seeing, hearing, sensing. But the truth of the matter is, it has no real power. The only reason why it has power is because the person seeking protection gave the power to them to give it right back to them in doses or microdosing it to them. And that's why it'll never stick, or it'll never be something that is no of a surety. And that's bringing up another. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. The best thing that they could have done to work to their advantage is to make you afraid of knowledge, and the discovery of the going on the journey to discovering that knowledge. So this message will not be for everybody, but in this position of authority that you have no fear of yourself and your discernment. You could have a lot of Libra in your chart. Because I feel like you're a receiver. Your antennas, your spidey senses are about to be high. Okay, it's about to be high. All right, let's clear the energy. Welcome back, you guys. Today's channel message was deep, but I love going deep. Thank you, Spirit, for allowing me to channel messages for our highest and greatest good. Okay, be sure to only take what resonates and leave the rest. Let's put that over here. Spirit, what channel message do you have for my Taurians? Let's go a little bit deeper. Shall we? Let's go a little bit deeper. I'm not sure. Oh Lord. And I brought out my English accent. Somebody could be from the UK. Shout out to the UK. By the pound. Alright. Channeling for all of my collective energies. Ooh, we got envy out here. It ain't nothing to cut off. Okay. Ooh, deception in reverse. Spirit is coming for those edges, honey. And then we have the sacral energy. Archangel Ariel. And then we have rest and rejuvenation. And just like that, I manifested. Set my middle finger to, I think she says middle finger to my thumb. I think she says that because I think she's talking about like snapping her fingers, and like just like that she's manifesting it or something like that. I don't know. This energy has made me smile. So this is just really just confirmation on top of confirmation. Okay, nobody could lie to you, even with all the it's like new levels, new devils. That's what I'm seeing here. like you're not participating in how it's done. Okay. There is some type of storyline, drama, expectation that is often depicted in every story. But here you come along and you don't want to play by the rules. You don't want to play into the narrative or the agenda that everyone else has had to play by. And so a lot of people feel like here you come out of nowhere and you're breaking all 72 laws, 78 laws. And when they started doing this thing or when they started doing that thing or whatever, they had to do it this way. So it's giving. It was harder for me to do what you're already doing so effortlessly, and I can't help but feel some type of way. What you've been able to do in 1 year, 2 years, it took me 20. It took me 5. And you have to be doing something that is diabolical, forbidden. It just isn't, the math ain't mathing, it isn't making sense. And so curiosity is brewing here. I do see a sense of, I'm curious to see what you believe in, what your philosophies are, and how those have helped shape your perspective and how you see the world. Why is it that I can look at the same cards and I don't see what you see? What is it that you're doing? Exactly. What is it that you're actually tapped into that is giving you that narrative or giving you that storyline? Because if you're just reading these cards, right? Joy, guardian in reverse, angel in reverse, deception in reverse, and envy. It sounds very cut and dry. Just say what's on the fucking cards. I'm seeing all types of different, there's like people that just want you to just say what you see or read something the way you see it, because the way that you think, or the way that your perception is so out of the box that it feels wrong. It feels like wicked. It feels wicked. And so there's this, I'm indifferent, let me help you. It's like I'm indifferent because on one end, I can't deny I'm intrigued. But I feel as if the more I'm intrigued, the less you give me the confirmation or the validation that you can see, sense, or hear my questions. Okay, so I feel like someone is trying to get your attention. They have some questions about all of this, and they're waiting around to see if you answer or you give them some type of insight or information, hint, hint, clue, clue, into how you're doing something. If they could get that from you, they'll be in it. They're like, I'll be out your hair in no time. I'm only sitting here because I'm waiting. I'm waiting for I'm waiting to figure out how you do what you do. And at this point, they feel like you're gloating, or you're relishing in the fact that you know that they want to know and you're not telling them. And they feel like you're just keeping them at bay, or you're just keeping them like you're letting them all line up at the door. It's like you have gathered us all here today, and what is this about? Is it because you want to rub it in our face? Is it because you're trying to make us jealous? And so they have tried to flip the script to say, I feel like this is exactly what you want. You want to... People are accusing you of wanting to make them suffer. because they're like saying, I wouldn't feel this jealous, I wouldn't feel this envious of you or what you have if you weren't doing something to them to make them want to know what you're up to or want to know what you're doing. Whoa there. The Ace of Swords. So one person is telling the truth and the other person's lying. And so, as a way of raising arms up against you, because they feel like they can't hide anymore, they can't hide behind the mask, they can't hide, they can't hurt you with deception. Here, then it's like, okay, you know what? Bump this. I'm gone. I tried to help you. I wanted to save you, but you leave me no choice. Now I have to hit you where it hurts. So with the sacral energy here in reverse, what this is saying that someone is attacking your sacral energy, or they're going to be attacking your sacral energy, your creativity, your ashe. This is like a, I have to take you down. Okay, because I feel like this is all ego, and I feel as if you are not spirit led, you are not divinely guided, and this is all just you being full of yourself. And I'm aware of what type of lustful energy this is, and all you care about is using your gifts and using your power to bind people and just get wealthy off of them, to have them praying to you, to have them seeking you for forgiveness and things like that. And so someone has determined with rest and rejuvenation that you are a charlatan, you're a fraud, you're crooked. Okay? And so they want to attack you. Because when they go into meditation or they sit, first of all, this is coming from people that are struggling to barely sit in meditation themselves for 20 minutes. They can hardly hold it for 19. Because being in the stillness it's too much conflicted belief systems there. So all of it starts to swarm them like crows. It's too many limited belief systems. And so when they go within to their own subconscious realm, it's already plagued. Okay. And so when they can't figure out, when they're struggling to balance their own ego, they start to look external. They start to look external as to what could potentially be blocking their own creativity or whatever. They start to look around and then compare. This is comparison. I want to compare this, compare that. Okay. And all of this, I feel like the most important thing is, wow. So you know how in the channel message, Spirit was saying that this you are walking karma. Okay, so when they all goes up and they stay there and they stay there, up down, all I do is win. Okay, Four of Swords. Six of Cups. Okay, so this is like, come back to me. It's giving me retrograde energy. I miss the old version of you. Come back to me. And so there's like prayers. So when people say I wish, I pray, and this and that, and they say that, and they're thinking about it, they're meditating on it, they're focusing on it. What that translate as in the spiritual realm is someone trying to derail your free will. Okay, whether they know it or not, whether they're aware of it or not, whether they are in agreement with one person and everybody together have, and there's one or more gathered in my name, there I am. When those types of intentions are set, okay, they could be praying that over the entire collective. Okay. And it's almost as if they're saying, I pray, like they're saying, I pray you feel alone, and that you see that the error of your way, and you come back to wholeness, or you come back to the collective thought consciousness that this is vibrating from. Okay. Because on one end they miss you, but on the other they feel like you've gone somewhere that they can't necessarily go. And so they want you back on their level or back on their team, because it's like a codependency. I miss when we were on the same frequency together. And I'm envious and jealous that you're not on my frequency anymore, which means if you're not on my frequency, then you must be on a better frequency, because you're not unhappy. Now, see, they were happy about you leaving, going y'all separate ways, when they felt like your path was going to lead you down a path of destruction. But when they see that when they see the truth behind the situation, that this happened just because spirit was taking you to new heights, then they became jealous of your relationship. And it's like, hold on, wait a minute, 3 of Cups. So you mean to tell me, like, all along I was the problem? And so now it's like, well, I want to come too. Yeah, I want to come too. I want to go with you too. Like, you're taking that train. You've been offered a letter. You're ascending. 3 of Cups. Because this level of consciousness is struggling with feeling as if, damn, so I didn't pass my exam. I didn't make the right choice. So I was a fool. Oh no, I can't have that. Let me try to hitchhike a ride with you. Let me come with you. And so a part of coming with you would be the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. I don't want to reap what I've sown. I don't want to learn the lesson that I've learned. I want to just ride with you. Can I take a ride with you? And so this is your first assignment here that's given, like, in this new position of authority that you've been ordained to. This is your first assignment. They cannot pass. Like, it's going to be up to you. If they pass, a certain path will open. If you grant them passage, a certain path will open. If you deny them passage, another path will open. But both paths will lead to if you take one path and you pardon them from learning some type of lesson that they were meant to reap from what they've sown, you would be pretty much willingly handing over your blessing to someone else in exchange for their lesson. You see how that works? And so they would go off and run it off into the sunset with your blessing, and then they wouldn't even hold your position of authority. They would just take your blessing and that pardon, they will never learn a lesson, and the cycle may repeat itself. Well, they'll come back around and like, oh, I know who I can get it from. This is like rocking a cradle. I could just go and take candy from a baby and take it from you. Because now, once you know the truth, then you're held accountable as well for either upholding that truth or convincing yourself of a lie that goes against your own intuition for the sake of, I don't know, for the Three of Cups in reverse, fake friends, fake family, fake associates. We're just going to pretend, even though you know that it's a plot. But this is about getting you to pardon something. The moon. Because like you are the scales right now. It's a position of authority that you have in the spiritual realm. I told you you're walking karma, and the Wheel of Fortune ain't even out here. Seven of Pentacles, the Chariot. There were things with this gossiping, rumors. There was things that were said. You elevated, you ascended, you took the high road, even though you knew there was shady shit going on. Ten of Pentacles. So this is like inheritance, family secrets. Something's not going to come in. I feel like there's something about not wanting something to happen for you. There's a hidden agenda. Wanting you to lose something. Yeah, it's like an agenda to have you. There's an agenda here to kind of stop you from manifesting your absolute best life, using your magic, your ashe, embarking on your destiny, infinite abundance, creativity, inspiration, vision, prosperity. Damn, maybe your own people. Swear for God. There's something about changing your course of directory back to a prior agenda. Because I still feel like you're being scouted. Yeah, it's like come back to this philosophy, come back to this belief system, come back to this, this social group, this social norm. You're on this high elevated horse that no one can really reach you at. Things that once triggered you don't trigger you anymore. You move differently. So I feel like there's an agenda to siphon your energy by kind of like placing you in an environment where you feel so restricted to the point where you lash out, and you lashing out becomes equivalent to you kind of like engaging in in a dispute or altercation that's kind of beneath you. All right. But I do feel like with the Queen of Swords, let's say you snap on somebody, right? Or you have no choice but to snap on it because somebody is pushing your boundaries or trying to tell you what you will and will not be able to do, or trying to talk to you. Like, it ain't coming from no loving place. It's an intentional hit to disturb your peace and make you feel like there's nothing that you can do, and to put your back up against the wall. Now, in these types of situations, all right, you may not want to necessarily hold anyone accountable and be spiritually used to weigh out a situation and determine who gets karma, who gets blessed in a situation like that, right? But in your bloodline, that is your purpose. For however long, it could be several years, it could be a whole phase, it could have been your whole life. But ultimately, when you don't want to expose certain shit, it's like this spirit comes over you. Something comes over you to the point where with the Queen of Swords, you literally like lightning strikes, like night and day. And that's when you feel your most confident. Yes, and you're most powerful is when you're not restricting that voice from coming through. You are like the lightning. The balance between two polar opposites. You expose shit and you appropriate karma, but you also are the one that gives that presents an opportunity for applying yourself, seeing the errors of your ways and then evolving. Not for you to be the one to give it to. It's almost like you course direct. You hit the reset button. Spirit uses you to hit the reset button. It puts someone on a path of, you know what, I gotta change my life. I need to go seek God. You understand? So it's not really about you or coming back to you to make it right. It's really an invitation, a personal invitation to speak with the Most High. It's not really about you. But you are the conduit for that energy to channel through you. You see what I'm saying? The truth to channel through you. Okay, I get it now. I was struggling a little bit. But you do not take the journey from anyone, and you do not use your empathy to feel as if you need to save people from themselves, because that comes from a place of sympathy, and that is not divine. All right, these are the messages that I have for you guys. Sending you lots of love, wisdom, and guidance on your journey. Until the next one. Bye.